Today, I want to talk to you about rib flare, what it is, how we get it, and how we can change some of our yoga poses to help compact the effects of it. So, rib flare is something that can happen when a woman is pregnant, and can happen for a lot of other reasons too. But it's common in women who are pregnant because you're trying to breathe. You've got the baby up front, you're trying to breathe in any way that you can, and it is a way that we try to get deep breaths. So what it looks like is lifting the rib cage up and then down to be able to breathe versus breathing out and all the way around. That's how you want it to look. Maybe I had too much shoulder action there, but you get my idea. And so when we breathe, lifting the ribs, when there is that rib flare, you are tightening your paraspinals, your upper back muscles. You are potentially worsening any diastasis issues in your front by kind of stretching out the ab muscles. And you're probably not getting as deep of a breath as your body really needs. We all need a lot of deep breathing, especially with small children, right? So I want to show you today a couple of poses that you can do differently than you might normally have been taught to do them in yoga. Not that the other ways are wrong, but that you can just do them a little differently. And maybe that can help combat any of the effects that you have had from a potential rib flare in your own body. So something just to pay attention to is kind of as you're breathing, you want to breathe all the way around instead of lifting your ribs. Okay, that's how we get the rib flare and all of the associated pains that when you have tight back muscles cause pain that radiates throughout the rest of your body. So a couple of ways we're going to do this today. The first is child's pose. So a lot of times child's pose can be cued by wider knees and feet touching each other, sinking your hips back towards your heels and reaching out long. So great pose, great stretch for the hips and the shoulders, and you probably are feeling your belly sinking deep. So when you breathe in the traditional pose, you can still breathe and have a rib flare. But what I want you to try today that's different is bringing your knees together when you sink your hips back. And then as you breathe, feel only the movement in the upper back. So as your lungs expand, let them stretch into the muscles in between your ribs along the back side of your body. Try it once with me. Now, if your back muscles are tight, that might be really hard to get a deep breath. So go easy on yourself, 2 or 3 at a time. Come back to it later and try again. Okay. Second pose is crescent stretch. We're going to try this on the wall. So a lot of times in normal yoga classes, you're not standing right by a wall. So you've got your hands above your head, they're pressed together, and then you lift and you stretch over to one side. It's making a crescent moon shape. Maybe go the other side just to even out. But when that happens, a lot of things can get contorted. I'm exaggerating, but a lot of things can get contorted without something to frame your body as a base. So I want you to try doing this all against the wall. So scoot your heels back up to the wall. Stand straight. Try the same pose. If you have tight shoulders, you might not be able to get your hands all the way back, and that's okay. Try to keep your shoulders on the wall. And then bend to one side and just notice what happens with your ribs in this case. Try to keep them down without gripping your front abs. Try to reposition your ribs as you come down. And then try it the other way. It's tricky. It's harder than it sounds. So try it on your own and then come back to me. Let me know how it's working. Over time, you will start to see some of those upper back muscles start to release. I would love to hear your successes. And if you want to hear more, always please feel free to reach out.